Hello everyone, I'm Enrique and today is Monday and we are beginning the second week of our course. As usual, I'm going to give you some introductory guidance, whether in the form of a video or an infographic, but usually you're going to be receiving this kind of information the first day of the week. Um, in the second week, we have to follow the same procedure that we followed in the first. The first thing you want to do is check in the syllabus and contents, the contents for the second week. As is usual, the first thing that you need to do is check the planner to get acquainted with what you have to read and the exercises you're supposed to complete during the week. In the second week, we are studying the writing process, the complete process. In the first week, an important notion that you studied was rhetorical reading. The rhetorical reading is the type of annotated critical reading that you do when you read uh, bibliography, when you read the articles with a view to writing the essays. In my class, the students that still haven't read the 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 learning object of the first week need to go back to the first week and check what annotated critical reading is. This is important to complete the writing process. As I said, in this week we are studying the writing process, the process that goes from reading and annotating the text you're going to be working with in your essays, doing some pre-writing to generate ideas, and then pre-writing to organize your ideas, and then the elaboration of the essay as such, following the process from general to specific. This second week, I'm presenting to you the model of the 5 paragraph essay that we are going to be using in most of the writing assignments in my class. In this second week, you continue with the, the language corner activities related to the self-assessments, and you have to read pages 75 through 103, and also how to write good sentences on pages 675 686. Um, the topics are understanding and managing writing processes, understanding and using pre-writing techniques, understanding and writing clear thesis statement. The thesis statement is the topic of the first partial test. We have the first partial test on Friday, this coming Friday, and associated to this topic, you have the third quiz, which is the thesis statement. That's why the third quiz is going to be available until Thursday night, uh, the 2nd of November. Um, this is the reason why this quiz is closing earlier is because you need to study this material for the partial test. After you complete the partial test on Friday, you I'm going to be reopening the third quiz again, but I need to close it before noon on Friday before the test because I want to release the feedback. It's important you read the feedback, and that's why it's going to be shorter the term. But if you can't take it for any reason, then after the test I'm going to reopen it again. But the idea is that you do it before the test. I can't possibly think a reason why you want to take a test if you haven't done the exercise before. The in for the first partial test, the topic sent, the thesis statement, I'm sorry, you don't have that information in the book. You need to read the learning object of the week. There I explain the difference between a thesis statement in an expository essay, in an analytical essay, in an argumentative essay, or in a narrative essay, which you already have written. So it's important that you study the contents of the learning object of the second week. Then you also have the other quizzes, the quiz 1 and quiz 3. Quiz 1 closes on Sunday, most of the quizzes close on Sunday. They have multiple attempts. The same is going to happen with quiz number 3, that after the test, I'm going to reopen again until Sunday. The self-assessments are self-assessment for week 1, 2, for the second week is self-assessment 1, 2, and 3. You have to complete 3 self-assessments as usual, or as you did before, or as some of you did before. You may want to provide the evidence that you did the self-assessment by capturing the screen and loading a Word document, only one Word document every week. Give me examples of exercises that gave you trouble. So this is basically what you need to do during the second week, and I'm doing this quickly because I want to show you something else. Today I wanted, since the first week is over, I wanted to show you one tool that D2L has, and I think it's only fair that you know that I have this tool. The name of the tool is the View Reports tool. Is my way to check who has read the information that I have given you, who has read the documents I have uploaded for you, who have done the exercises. So everything is here in the reports tool. For example, if I check over here, the first week, I'm using one course section only as an example, 4873. And this tool gives me a report, a very thorough report of how many students have visited and the contents of my class. For example, how many students have watched the welcome tour, how many students have read the planner, and how many students have read the learning object. And this is really serious, because in the learning object I give you most of the information in a summarized way, and I give you information that you won't be able to find by yourself in the book. So I'm only 16 students out of 33 in this section have read the learning object of week 1. If I click over here, the system gives me a thorough report. I'm going to, for privacy's sake, I'm going to be moving this to show you only the axis without the names. For example, this student over here never entered the learning object. All these students over here, so 2 students, 3, and these are the 16 students that have visited the learning object. And I'm going to be using one that is supposed to be like the ideal. For example, this student over here visited the learning object on the 27th of October, only one visit, and the time she spent was 13 minutes. Other students have visited the learning object 4 times, for example here, but have only spent 2 minutes. But this is possible because if you download the contents of the learning object, this is the time it takes. So I'm not taking the time spent so seriously. What I take seriously is the fact that some students, and these many students in this second course, haven't visited the learning object. This is amazing. And I think it's important for you to know that I have this tool. I'm not threatening you. This is not a menace. This is just for you to know that I have this. And when you see the results of the end, and the students that claim for a revision of a grade or second chances or what have you, the first thing I do is just come back here and I check my reports. In any case, I'm going to be communicating with you personally this week. If you haven't done what you were supposed to do during the week, you're going to be receiving an email from me. So basically, after this nagging that I find necessary because it's the first week and I think it's important that we start knowing what we have, I think it's important that you now reconsider your action. Some of you haven't done what is supposed to be done. As I said, at some point during my class, in the introductory video, I think it was, I mentioned that something that is really troublesome in my class is that some students think that this class can be taken on automatic pilot. This is not possible. You have to be on top of the class. Okay, let's work now in the second week. We're still working with preparatory material for the essays. By the middle of the week, I'm going to be releasing the topic for the writing assignments that are to come. I think by Wednesday, you should have the topic of the writing assignments. So please don't hesitate to contact me if you feel that you need any additional support, or if you have another question, I'll be more than happy to help you.